Day 3 in the Ken Paxton impeachment trial was dominated by testimony from Ryan Bangert.
I was deeply concerned that the name and authority and power of our office had been, in my view, hijacked to serve the interests of an individual against the interest of the broader public.
Bangert, a former deputy first assistant in the Attorney General's office, spent a lot of time justifying why he was part of a whistleblower complaint against his boss.
What would be your response to the suggestion that you folks were sitting around there cooking up a mutiny against the Attorney General of the state of Texas?
As in we were, that would make no sense to me. We were trying to protect the Attorney General as much as we could.
Bangert and other top aides believe Paxton was providing inappropriate assistance to a political donor, Austin developer Nate Paul. Among the accusations Paxton made, his staff write a legal opinion allegedly to prevent a foreclosure auction on Paul's property.
I was exceptionally concerned after the opinion was issued because I felt there had been a break in trust at that point.
In cross-examination, defense attorney Anthony Osso Jr. suggested Nate Paul was only trying to get help, not influence.
None of those resulted in him getting the records with regard to DPS and Texas State Securities Boards, right?
I'm not aware of any disclosures that were made.
Okay.
At least by our office formally.
Osso also suggested that Paxton wanted the opinion only to address a problem caused by the pandemic.
Could that affect people and their ability to pay their mortgages and their rent?
Could what affect them?
A ruling that foreclosure sales, that COVID was in existence.
COVID was in existence at that time.
And it caused people not to have money and not to be able to afford rent and not to be able to pay their mortgages, true?
I believe the economic disruption caused by COVID had some of those effects.
Okay. And the job of the Office of Attorney General is in part to protect the public, true?
The Attorney General's office is a sacred trust and it's always to be used for the public benefit.
Right.
An executive order from then-President Trump, made a week after Paxton's opinion, and similar to it, was issued to defend the action.
You're not going to sit here and tell us that you know that the foreclosure opinion ultimately affected or benefited Nate Paul, are you?
Oh, I believe it did affect and benefit him.
You have no personal knowledge of that, do you?
I have since learned that it did benefit him.